Now, zooming out, how far did you end up getting with your education?
I got my GED.
And prior to you getting that GED, what was the last grade that you took?
Prior to matter of fact, as far as I did a semester in college actually. But last grade,
Before the GED? Ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th?
I feel like it might have been 11th, 10th or 11th, one of them.
And do you recall what the reason for stopping at that point in your life was before getting the GED?
I got locked up.
Locked up as a juvenile
Yeah,
or as an adult?
as a juvenile.
Now, sometimes people get locked up as a juvenile and they return back to school. In your instance, why not?
Because I had did the math. I was locked up. Like if I stayed my ass in there, not doing nothing, I was gonna come back home and which at that point in time, I was whole time still in ninth grade, but like they would just keep putting me in the next class, next year class, next year class. So I was like, if I don't do shit while I'm locked up, I'm gonna go back home and still be in the ninth grade while the rest of my classmates graduated. Yeah, that's not it for me. So I got my GED.
And how long were you incarcerated as a juvenile for back in those days?
18 months.
And care to share why?
Because I had did some crimes before that, before I got caught for my original time. I mean, like for the last time, kept breaking in houses and stealing cars and shit, and robberies, and motherfucking. Um, they had that time. I forgot. Nah, I was in a stolen car and shit. I was getting some gas at the gas station, and they just blitzed me. I don't even know how the fuck they. I don't even know how the fuck they knew. They blitzed me. Then that shit was game over.
And do you recall where you were stationed at the time for those 18 months?
I was at Shellham, Green Ridge, Glen Mills. What's that other joint? There's one more I forget. Can't remember.
Now, were you able to obtain that GED during your incarceration, or was that something you do after incarceration?
That was something I got at a placement. Like that was one of the places they had sent me. I got it while I was out there.
And do you get rewarded for doing that, like maybe time shaved off your sentence, so to speak?
Nah, that was just for me.
And just for clarification, that 18 months, that was the sentence to the case, or that was fighting the case as well?
Nah, that was me doing that to myself. My original joint was 6 to 9. Like you know how when you juvenile, it's increments they give us. You know what I'm saying? So it's not too hard for a juvenile to ever know, like, or determine how much long how long he about to get. It's uh 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 24, and then the months. So depending on your crime, you get sentenced to Uber Bip. And my shit was probably like, no, my shit was 6 to 9. I had 6 to 9 months of Green Ridge, but I was fighting and shit and all types of shit. So
It
ended up being
extended your
18.
stay.
Yeah.
Any regret on that? The extension of your stay due to those fights and things of that nature?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't regret that shit. I don't regret that shit.
Why not?
I learned more shit when they sent me out of state. Like, kind of became a different person. So if I never would have went through with all that, I don't know who would I be. I don't know.
Now, when you attempt the GED, did you pass the first time you took the test?
Yeah, I passed everything except for math. I ain't never been too good at math, but I passed it the second time studying. I passed it the second time, like literally on the dot. Like it's a certain number you gotta hit, and I hit that certain number on the dot.
So just in retrospect, by the time you finally obtained that GED, your classmates that you would have graduated with, would that have matched the time you would have graduated with them? Or did you obtain the GED a little bit before or after they end up
I
graduating?
actually lined it all up perfect. I got my GED, and they had told me one of the requirements for me to come home was I had to sign up for college. So that's how I ended up going to college, you know what I'm saying, for a semester. But it was community. But around the time I got my GED, the facility I was at was getting shut down and shit. So they was kind of letting niggas home. And around that time, it was also prom for niggas in my grade. So, and I actually got the GED the months before.
And when you're talking about the facility, you're talking about the school or the incarceration?
It's schools and the joints.
Oh, got it. Yes, you did mention that. Sorry for the brain fog there. Okay, so you obtain your GED, you sign up for college, and then you only do one semester. You complete that semester freshman year?
Nah.
You stopped in the middle of that semester at some
Yes.
point.
I went for the first couple classes of everything just to see like what it was like. And then once I realized I could just skip like this like high school, but like on a better level, yeah, I was like, fuck that shit.
Care to share the name of the school you attended back then?
The college,
Yes.
Prince George's Community.
And any regret on that decision making of stopping at some point during the first semester of freshman year?
Nah, I should have went to real college though, instead of community. I probably would have stayed in that motherfucker.
Now, hypothetically speaking, let's say you do further your education back in those days, you attend a real college. Did you have any thoughts, did you have any thoughts on what you were thinking about majoring in or what you wanted to major in or what you wanted to become as a goal at the end of the day?
Nah, I say that just cause it was when I wasn't in college, but I was around the time. I was always up to college just cause there's always some bitches, there's always some money to make, there's always something to do. So I should have went to college. And it was like motherfuckers. I be peeping motherfuckers who went to college be having endless alias connections years after, months after, from a motherfucker they knew in college. Like so, nigga type of nigga I am. I already know I would have known him. You know what I'm saying?
But did you have any thought of what you wanted to do after college, perhaps? Had you gone that route?
Nah.
Just curious. Wrapping up with this subject matter, anything else you want to mention about your previous education or question you weren't asked? People want to know just about that.